Once again, good morning, Spuds Country. I got too many different mute buttons. Welcome to Alexandria and the final game for your Moorhead Spuds in the Big Ole Tournament. This game will set to match up your Moorhead Spuds against the Fargo Freeze in the 5th place game. Spuds have had an up and down run this weekend, losing to Alex in the first game of the tournament on Friday. They came out with a strong showing yesterday morning, but in the end ended up falling to Bismarck. But came back strong Saturday afternoon and got the win against Sioux Falls Flyers, which puts us here in the 5th place game against the Fargo Freeze. Freeze gather around their bench. Spuds gather around their net. Spuds are going to be wearing their travel blacks with the white and orange trim, skating right to left on your radio dial. Fargo Freeze will be wearing their home gray with the blue and white trim, skating left to right. And we are actually right on time here. 9:45, now 9:46. Spuds break first. Freeze break. Starting for Moorhead in goal will be number 33, Addie Andel. Back on the blue line will be number 25, Isabel Oakes, and number 11, Celia Almendinger. Up front will be number 7, Lauren Ness, and number 3, Molly Hockett, left and right. Centered up will be number 4, Caitlin Shirley. Puck is down. This game is underway. Spuds are going to control right off the get-go. Shirley carries it into the Fargo zone, immediately has it knocked off her stick. Freeze tried to bounce it back out. Shirley was there to hold it in. Another chance to knock it out near side. Thrown down into the corner by Ness. Cleared the length of the ice. That one will get called back. Nope. No icing on that one, so play will continue. Near side boards brought in right to the side, and Andel got turned away by the Spuds. Dumped down into the near side corner. Almendinger. Puck comes loose. Shirley has it back behind the net. Kicks it over back into the corner to Ness. Ness is able to chip it around one. Bounces it off the board. She's able to send it over to Shirley, who clears it out to center. Shirley and Hockett near side. Centering pass over to Hockett. Hockett can't get a stick on it. It's sent the other direction by Sophia Rierick from Fargo. Turn back down in behind the Fargo net. Lindbergh and Sogard fight for it on the far side. Now will be Klein behind her own net. She takes it up the far side board, pushes it ahead to Benson. Benson carries it all the way down into the Moorhead zone. Chip shot across. Shot from Lola Klein goes high and over the net and onto the back glass. Puck just about slides all the way back out to center. Cross ice to the near side. Back down low. Top of the slot. Back over to the near side now. Shot, save, Andel, cleared by default. Spuds are able to send it back out to center. Back down into the Fargo zone. Benson. Now Klein. Dumps it in. Fargo goes for the change. Held up back behind the Moorhead net. It's going to be pulled out by the Spuds. Up and off the wall, all the way down into the Fargo zone. No icing. Play will continue. Back behind the Fargo net now. Gunderson. Over to Roerich. Roerich cross ice out to center. Emma Ness. Down into the Fargo zone, or into the Moorhead zone. Corbel will get the shot off and the goal, putting Fargo on the board first. (14:28) first period. Fargo strikes first. 1-0. Shots on goal in favor of Fargo, 2-0. Face off at center, Hanukkah and Jonas. Cross ice over to the near side, Hager. Drop back into their own zone. Forward pass is bounced right in onto Andel, but she'll cover it up. Face-off will come to the near side, glove side of Andel. There's Steen and Jonas. Fargo immediately got a shot off that went just wide of the net and into the near side, or into the far side corner from the slot. Spuds are able to turn it over to the near side blue line. It'll be dumped back down into the corner from Sheely. Pinched up against the back wall. Fargo comes away with it. Down into the corner, pulled loose by Steen. Strand now near side. Strand tries to steer around Sheely. It'll be Fargo who has it back behind the net. Brings it around to the side, takes a shot on Andel that she'll get covered up. We'll be down to 13:29 left in the first. Face off near side, Steen. And I believe it was Astrup. Shot from blue line, save, Andel. Swenson far side down. Tries to set it across. Strand will have it in the middle. Flips it up off the board. Tries to dump it into the Fargo zone. It was picked up right at the blue line and turned the other direction. Astrup now. Clock operator forgot to start the clock. We actually only ran off 3 seconds there. So they're going to run it down a little bit here. There we go. 10 seconds off. Okay, we're going to run a little bit more off. So we're down to 13-13. Face off again will be near side of the Moorhead zone. Johnson controls back behind the net. Chips it along the wall over to Hockett. Hockett has it stolen away. Melendez. Fargo will push it around onto the near side. Sophia Rerick. Far side boards now. Looks like Hockett, Shirley. Now Ness out at center. Ness one-on-one with Rorich. Gets the shot off, but gets redirected up off the back glass. Shirley now down to Ness. Ness tries to drive it into the slot. Got run into by Sogard, and Fargo takes it the other direction. Down into the Moorhead zone. Lindbergh and Rerick both fight for it along the near side wall. They're not Lindbergh Oaks. All I could see was the 5. Right down point blank. Turned away Andel. Shirley carries it out through center. She flips it in. It's going to go just a bit wide of Kurtz. The Fargo Freeze goal minder. Fargo takes it the other direction now. Benson out to center. Sends it cross ice over to the far side. Klein at the blue line. Now Lindbergh. Tries to steer around one. She's able to send it between the skates of Sheely right in on Kurtz. Kurtz will cover it up and we'll have a stoppage in play. Face off far side of the Fargo zone will be between Benson and Cutter. Round back behind the Fargo net. Sheely in the corner now. She sends it back to the near side to Benson. Benson takes it up the far side wall, sends it cross ice out to center. It's going to bounce down into the Moorhead zone and be picked up by Dufault. Dufault tries to clear. Benson was there. Benson takes it right down and in. Gets the shot and the goal. Putting Fargo up 2-0. 11:20, 2-0 Fargo lead. Faceoff comes back out to center. This time it'll be Lee. And Jonas to square up. What's that?
Jonas.
It's, I guess, pronounced Chunus. Back behind the Moorhead net, Johnson and Corbel. It'll come up to Cooper at the near side, or the far side blue line. Spuds are there to pick it loose. Retzer. Stolen right back by the Freeze. It'll be Gunderson just inside of her own zone. Dump back into the Moorhead and Corbel. Along the near side boards. Up to Gunderson at the point. She sends it cross ice over. Shot. Goes just wide of the net and into the near side corner. Dufault tries to flip it out. Or Nest. Wow. Hendrickson tries to turn it out to center. Fargo was there to hold it in. Now Johnson skates it out near side. Chips it off the wall. Tries to steer around Gunderson. She'll pick it up down and behind the net. Gunderson is there to knock it loose. Retzer comes over to help. Corbel near side now. Strand. Up to Steen. Back down into the corner. Sent the length of the ice. Say it one more time. Chunus sends it the length of the ice. That one will get called back on icing. 9:45. Face off to the stick side of Kurtz. Steen is going to win the draw. It'll end up down to the near side corner where it's handled. Olmstead sends it up the near side wall. Astrup out through center. Moorhead is able to push it loose down into the near side corner. It'll be handled Killand over to the far side. Swenson is there to block the shot. Swenson's giving the chase. Swenson hard and fast, one-on-one shot. Rebound goal! Swenson with the breakaway rebound, picked up Swenson. Swenson put the biscuit in the basket and Moorhead on the board. Swenson cuts the deficit by 1. Puck down into the near side corner of the Moorhead zone. And slide around back behind where it's taken by Melendez. Melendez gets tripped up in the corner. Shirley now goes down. Ness comes away with it. Ness, far side. Ness and Hockett. Hockett tries to peel one off. Ness is going to have to dump it. Rollrich will pick it up behind her own net. Out the far side now. Allmendinger steers around Allmendinger. Shot. Turned away Andel. Spuds come away with it. They can't quite clear. It'll be held in on the far side blue line. Once again held in far side blue line. Astrup gets pinched up against the boards. Klein steps in to help. Spuds knock it free momentarily. It's sent over on the near side to Rollrich. Rollrich shot, turned away Andel. Spuds look to clear. Once again held into the blue line. This time Sorgard.
Get her.
Far side shot. One-timer right into the chest pad of Andel. She'll swallow it up and hold this game at 2-1 Fargo. Face off far side of the Moorhead zone is going to be between I don't know and I don't know. I can't see way down there. Over onto the near side, it'll be picked up Gunderson. She'll send it down into the corner. Back up to Gunderson at the blue line. Gunderson off the wall. Cutter is there to knock it loose. It goes down into the corner. Shot, stick save, Andel. Spuds will push it over onto the far side wall. It gets bounced out into center. No icing. Play will continue. Off the back wall, it's held up by the snow. Gunderson will have to go pick it up. Bounced out to center with Fargo now. Cross ice over to Benson. Benson shot. Blocked out in front of Andel. This time Gunderson. Blocked down once again. Puck is redirected up into the air as Cutter tried to clear it. Johnson will have it back behind the boards, or back behind the net. She'll fight with M&S. Hanukkah now. Puck gets knocked free, goes back in behind the net once again. It'll now be controlled and flipped up off the boards, held in Gunderson at the blue line. Gunderson drives it down into the corner. She's going to get pinched up against the wall, courtesy of Johnson. Puck comes free. Back down into the corner. Turn the other direction behind the net. It's going to be Johnson now. Tries to send it out. It's going to slide all the way out to center, forcing the Freeze to reset. Gunderson will have it out at center. Bumped in. Gunderson, top of the slot. Loses the handle on it. It's going to slide all the way over to the far side wall. Be picked up Ness. Emma Ness. Not Lauren Ness. Hanukkah. Puck slides up to Sorgard, far side. Shot. Turned away into the near side corner now. Be handled by the Freeze. Up to the near side. Shot. Save. Andel. Holds this game at 2-1 Fargo. 5:52 left in the first period. 10-2 in favor of Fargo on shots. Face-off near side is going to be won by Fargo. Cross-ice shot from the point. Gets turned away by Andel. Rebound came loose. She was able to get the save on the second one. Spuds are going to turn it out and all the way down into the Fargo zone. It'll get called back on icing as our camera freezes. Oh. Down in the far side corner, Fargo controls. Spuds look to clear. It's sent out to center off the stick of Retzer. Held up along the near side boards at half ice. Down into the Moorhead zone once again. Oakes up off the glass. Centering it up to the point. Will be Sorgard. She steers around two Moorhead skaters, finds the back of the net to put the Fargo Freeze back up by 2. .458, 3-2 Fargo, or 3-1 Moorhead, 3-1 Fargo lead. Now, just to make this interesting, I should start calling Fargo Sioux Falls, because I was calling Sioux Falls Fargo all game. So, anyhow, down into the Fargo zone. Bounce back out to center, picked up Dufault, pushed into the Fargo end on the far side corner. Steen and Sheely fight for it back behind the net. Swenson tries for the backhand. She gets knocked down. Puck comes over into the near side corner. Cleared out to center, Rerick. Rerick, hard and fast, by herself down the far side. Shot right into the glove of Andel. Puck is loose in the slot. Turned over onto the far side and then kicked out to center. Roerich will go pick it up. Roerich now. To Astrup. Astrup, shot, save, Andel. Face-off goes to the glove side of Andel. Shirley and Benson to match up. Benson's going to win the draw. She's going to go chase after it back behind the net. Tries for the wraparound shot. Goes through the top of the crease. Shirley is there to push it over to the far side wall. Sent down into the corner now, Beauregard. They try to send it in a shot from that side. It's turned away by the Spuds. Handled far side Klein. Shot turned away Andel. Onto the near side boards now Ness. Out through center ahead to Shirley. Shirley can't get a handle on it. It was turned back the other direction by Sheely. Held up out at center. Shirley and Ness, or Oaks and Ness. Taking the other direction now Melendez. Back to Roerich. Roerich tries to send it ahead. Allmendinger is there to intercept. Allmendinger down into the Fargo zone. Gets a shot off. It goes high and over the net of Kurtz. Near side corner now, Roerich back around on the near side wall. Klein carries it out to center. Allmendinger is there to hold it in at the point. Sheely got run into by Hockett, but the puck ended up out at center anyway. Cross ice both back over into the far side. Hockett and Hager both chase it back behind the net. Fargo is able to kick it out to center once again. They're going to enter the Moorhead zone on the far side. They'll get steered over to the far side boards. Spuds come away with it. Shirley now hot and fast on the breakaway. Shirley looks for the shot. Kurtz gets the rebound, or gets the save, but the rebound was cleared over onto the near side wall by Olmsted. Down into the Moorhead zone. Fargo went running in offside. So we'll have a face-off way back by the Fargo end. Near side, just outside the Fargo defensive zone. Cutter, and it was the one I cannot pronounce. Chunus. Cross ice over to the far side now, Hager. Hager ahead. Corbel brings it into the point. Shot, save, Andel. Rebound, loose. Rebound shot, kick back behind the net. Spuds will come away with it. Lindbergh now, near side. She bounces it off the wall into the Fargo zone. Beauregard is there to pick it up. Right back out to center. Spuds have to clear it back out. Hanika touches it as it enters the zone, and she was exiting, so the Spuds will end up offside. Minute 39 left in the period. Face-off right at center ice was between Lee and Astrup. Back down into the Moorhead zone, held up back behind the net. Astrup and Oaks will fight for it. Lee steps in to help. Now another Fargo skater. Allmendinger back behind the net, sends it around, sends it into the corner. Chip shot over to the far side, slap shot, goes wide of the net, into the back behind, and onto the back wall. Now Lee. Lee puts the brakes on at center ice, steers around one, but Retzer had already ran in, so the Spuds will once again end up offside. Face-off just outside on the near side. It's going to be bumped into the Fargo zone and steered right back out from Gunderson. Down into the Moorhead zone. Shot. But not actually a shot. Centering pass. Killen couldn't get a stick on it. It went down into the far side corner. Fargo. Turned back out. Moorhead. Pinched up at half ice. Lee is able to pinch it, or to break it loose as she gets tripped. Fargo on the delayed penalty now. It'll be touched up in the corner by Roerich, and that'll put the Spuds on the power play with 24.1 seconds to go. Faceoff goes to the far side. Between Steen, and I couldn't tell who it was from Fargo. Controlled by Fargo. Blocked by Strand. Strand, near side, fights with Rorich. Steen steps in to help. Puck comes back over to the near side board. Strand will pick it up. Strand tries to center it up. Will be intercepted. Rorich once again. Fargo is able to clear it out as the horn sounds. Rorich will put the shot on from just outside her own zone. And will just kick it off to the side. That's going to do it for the first. Spuds trail 3-1 currently. 16-3 in favor of Fargo on the shots. They're going to shovel the ice, so we're going to take about a 10-minute break, and we'll be back after a bit. You're watching Spuds Hockey on Krabby Toad Studios TV. Welcome back to Alexandria, Minnesota and the Big Oldie Tournament. Your Moorhead Spuds are currently locked in battle with the Fargo Freeze and trailing 3-1. Shots on goal are 16 for a Fargo, but the Spuds will start the second on the power play.
Go Spuds!
Minute 36 left on their power play. Starting the second will be number 18, Kinsey Johnson, number 6, Ava Dufault, left and right. Number 7, Lauren Ness, and number 3, Molly Hockett, centered up by number 4, Caitlin Shirley. Back minding the goal for Moorhead will be number 3, Addie Andel. 33. I guess I said 3. I thought I said 33. Puck is down. We are underway. Fargo controls. Bounces it right down into the Moorhead end. It'll get called back into the Fargo end on icing. We'll have a face-off now near side of the Fargo zone. Shirley and a mystery Fargo freeze. Shirley, Hockett. Dufault sends it down behind the net. Ness, Shirley, shot off the side of the cage. Puck will be controlled by Fargo. Up and off the board. Held in near side, Johnson. Now Hockett with the shot. Rebound loose, gets turned over onto the far side wall, and it'll be picked up by Ness. Ness up to Dufault. Dufault tries to get the shot off. It gets knocked off her stick. Breakaway now for Fargo. Shot, save, Andel. Number 2, Shea Benson got the breakaway, but threw her shot right into the chest pad of Addie Andel, who swallowed it up, giving her no chance at the rebound. 49 seconds left on the Moorhead power play. 16-13 left in the period. Face-off far side, gets sent over to the far side wall and all the way out to center. Fargo will control just inside their own zone. Far side, flipped up into the air. It's going to come all the way down into the Moorhead zone. Bounce around behind the net, and it'll get called back on icing. So face-off will go back down into the Fargo end on the far side. 34 seconds left on the Moorhead power play. Shirley, and I believe it was Gunderson, over to the near side now. Allmendinger, shot, kick save, Kurtz. Puck goes back behind the net. Another shot from the near side, from the far side. Kurtz kicked away. Fargo is going to send it the length of the ice. That will once again get called back on icing. 15 seconds left on the Moorhead power play. They'll have one more good run at getting a shot and a goal on this power play. Faceoff gets sent over to the far side wall. Allmendinger tries to push it back down deep. It was held up and stopped right about halfway down the half wall. Puck now back behind the net. 3 seconds. 1, Fargo back at full strength. Puck along the near side boards, carried down into the Moorhead end. Rohrich will get stopped up right as she crosses the goal line, turns it back the other direction. Up the near side blue line now. Rohrich, shot, goes wide into the far side corner. Set back down by Fargo. Spuds are able to clear it out to center. Off the near side board, Sheely. Bounce back out to center, Spuds. Astrup now. Takes it over to the far side, dumps it into the corner and gives chase. Her and Allmendinger. Astrup is going to come away with it. Astrup tries to drop it off for Sheely. Hanukkah comes away with it. Hanukkah has it stripped off her stick at center ice. It'll come right back down into the Moorhead zone. Allmendinger will take a trip behind her own net. puts the brakes on, sends it the other direction. Sheely tries to stop it. Hanukkah. Now Sheely. Back down into the corner. Killen. Centering pass turned away by the Spuds. Hendrickson sends it the lengths of the ice. That one will get called back down into the Moorhead end on icing. Face-off between Lee and I believe it's Benson. I can see a two. Down into the corner. Default around the horn to Johnson, far side. Johnson kicks it out to center. Retzer now. Retzer and Benson fight for it out at neutral ice. Benson comes away with it. They're going to both end up down in the Fargo zone and take a trip behind the net. Far side now. Puck controlled by Johnson. Johnson pushes it ahead to Lee. Lee carries it in top of the point. Takes the shot, goes just wide of the net. It'll end up back behind the net and be taken by Fargo. Set up high and into the air. And out of play. So we'll have a face-off now on the far side of the Fargo end. $13:34. Face-off Steen. And once again, a mystery Fargo skater. Strand and Hager, I believe it was, both go down behind the net. Puck comes loose and into the corner. Now down into Moorhead zone. Klein tried to take the breakaway. She had it stripped by two Moorhead skaters. Puck ends up back behind the net. Steen, Johnson, Klein. Spuds are able to turn it out to center. Swenson now 1-on-3 going the other direction. Benson is there to strip it off her stick. Gunderson brings it back the other direction. Spuds pull it back. Down into the Moorhead zone. Allmendinger is able to push it back out. Far side now, Strand. Bounced off the wall, Klein. Steen now. Swenson and Klein both fight for it. Klein is going to dump it down into the far side corner of the Moorhead zone. Off the boards, Allmendinger, Swenson. Swenson tries to drive it in. Runs right into Sheely. And once again, that one I cannot say. Chunnis. Oaks now near side corner of the Moorhead end. Up to Shirley. Shirley out to center. Loses the handle. Hockett ends up with it just inside the Fargo zone. Hockett down into the corner. Looks to center it up. Carries it all the way in. Shot the goal! I could not see how she did it, but I'm guessing it was a rebound pounded home. Puts the Spuds within striking distance. 3-2. Whoops. They cut Fargo by 1 and forgot to add to the Spuds. There we go. Puck held up back behind the Fargo net. Roerich sent the length of the ice. No icing. Play will continue. Allmendinger is going to have to go pick it up back behind her own net. Allmendinger hard off the wall. Pinched up just at the blue line. Hockett, Shirley, Allmendinger. Puck is finally picked free. Allmendinger has to pick it up in her near side corner. Drawn back behind the net. She tries to carry it out. It was knocked off her stick by Emma Ness. Fargo tries to dump it back down into the corner. It's going to come all the way over on the near side boards. Oaks and Emma Ness fight for it. Back behind the Moorhead net, the puck will slide. Sent out front and cleared through center. Lauren Ness sent it all the way down into the Fargo end. Picked up on the near side, Fargo. Out to center, Lindberg now. Lindberg backhand. Goes just a touch wide of Kurtz. She'll stick it over to Gunderson on the near side. Back out through center now. Down into the Moorhead zone. Puck comes loose. It'll end up back behind the wall. Cutter gets pinched up against the boards by Klein. Far side point. The far side blue line. Dump back down into the corner. Out behind the nets. The A-strip shot. Save. Andel. Johnson with it behind the net. Tries to clear it out. It goes over onto the far side boards. Pocket comes over to help. Fargo sends it back down into the near side corner. A-strip and Dufault both fight for it. Cutter is able to clear it out to center, forcing Fargo to reset. Gunderson with it in neutral ice now. Bounced off the wall and once again down into the near side corner. Dufault and Gunderson. Moorhead is able to clear it out to center. Hanukkah breaks the zone, has it knocked off her stick, picked up Roerich inside the slot. Roerich now near side. Brings it into the top of the slot, looks for the shot. Can't get it off, takes it around behind the net, looks for the centering pass. Over to the far side, shot, goes wide of the net and into the near side corner. Picked up there by Astrup. She'll hand it off to Rearick. Rearick shot, turned down by Andel. Johnson off the boards, out to Hanukkah. Hanukkah's able to clear it out to center, ahead to Lindbergh now. Lindbergh has it stripped off her stick just as she enters the Fargo end. Will be held up just inside the Fargo zone along the blue line. Fargo kicks it the other direction, up into the air, all the way down into the Moorhead end. Dufault now back up behind her own net, off the wall. Stopped just as it exits the zone by Sorgard. Be carried back in. Knocked free by Dufault. Cross over to the far side. Roerich looks for the shot, looks to center it up. Out front. Top of the slot, puck is picked loose. Hendrickson is able to clear it over to the near side boards. Retzer is able to send it the length of the ice. It's going to get run down. Play will continue. Roerich picks it up behind her own net. Hard and fast off the wall. Up to Klein at the near side blue line. Spuds are there to send it back across. Hendrickson, shot, blocked out in front. Once again, Fargo is able to send it the length of the ice. That one will get called back on icing. 8 minutes exactly left in the second period. 18-5 in favor of Fargo on the shots. Face-off goes back down into the Fargo zone on the far side. Face-off gets sent down into the corner. Handled by Fargo. Sent back into the corner, Allmendinger. Fargo is going to come away with it. Strand now. Allmendinger. Sends it back in behind the net. Picked up Cooper. Along the near side wall. Turned back behind the net from Oakes. Fargo was able to finally clear it out on the far side. Allmendinger has to pick it up inside of her own zone. Allmendinger across to Swenson. Swenson tries to send it back across the Strand, has it intercepted. Puck bounced back out to neutral. Oakes now. Oakes has to retreat back into her own zone. Ahead to Steen. Steen tried to get it ahead to Swenson. It was intercepted by Chanas. Now Oakes. Now Corbel, far side, shot, blocked Allmendinger. Shirley down into the corner, has it knocked off her stick back behind the net. Fargo comes away with it out in front, shot, Andel save. Spuds are able to turn it over to the near side wall. Oakes up and off the glass. That one is going to make it all the way to the other end before it gets run down, so it'll get called back on icing. .6:31 second period. Fargo leading by one, 3-2. Face-off near side will be Shirley and Astrup. Spuds control. Johnson sends it around to the horn onto the far side boards. Intercepted far side. Roerich, she's going to take it around behind the net. Tries for the wraparound shot. Andel was there and ready. Shot from the top of the slot. Turned away Andel. Bounced out through center. Bounce along the far, near side wall. Shirley now flips it up off the glass. It's held in right at the blue line by Fargo. Cross ice over down into the far side corner. Johnson and Astrup both fight for it. Now back up to the blue line. Controlled Rearick. Rearick tries to center it up. Spuds turn it away. Far side now. Bounced up to the point. Roerich shot. Block. Shirley. Shirley and Hockett 2-on-1 going the other direction now. Shirley goes wide. Looks for Hockett. Puts the brakes on as she crosses. She's going to have to end up having to go all the way back behind the net. Has it stripped off her stick back there. Fargo comes away with it near side. They're able to kick it out to center. Spuds will have to reset. Bounced off the glass. It comes all the way down into the Moorhead zone where it's picked up by Johnson and Killand. Both of them end up going down. Puck comes over on the near side wall. Dufault and Killand both fight for it. Hockett up and off the glass, held into the blue line. Shirley is able to bounce it out to center. Shirley Lindberg out at center. Lindberg's shot goes high over the net and into the far side corner. Picked up over there by Lola Klein. Spuds control along the far side wall. From the point now, shot. Hanukkah. Save made by Kurtz. 4:47, second period. Face-off will come to the near side, glove side of Jenna Kurtz. Or is it Gina? Could be Gina. Jenna. Gina. Jenna. Jenna. Yeah, it'd be Jenna. Out through center now, down into the Moorhead zone. Shot. Save. Andel. She didn't move. It was behind her stick and under her glove, but not fully covered. Face-off comes to the near side now. Cutter. And I believe it was Roerich. Neither one of them actually won the draw. They had to have their teammates step in to help. Allmendinger now tries to send it out. Hanukkah far on near side. Kicks it out to center. Fargo has to reset. Along the near side boards, Allmendinger tries to send it the length, but it's going to get picked off right at the far end blue line. Benson shot. Benson brings it around, dangles it in front of Andel, and finds the back of the net to give Fargo a 2-goal lead once again. (4-2) Fargo lead. 4:07 second period. 22-6 on shots in favor of Fargo. Face-off at center is between Shea Benson and Ariella Lee. Pushed down into the Fargo zone, handled behind the Fargo net is Roerich. Along the far side boards now. Out to center, picked loose. Dufault. She'll have it just inside of her own zone. To Retzer. Retzer, Dufault. Lee. Dufault flips it up into the air. It's going to slide all the way down to the other end. That one will get called back on. Nope, that one's going to get run down by Roerich. Play will continue. Far side boards now. Kicked out to center. Benson. Looks for the centering. Takes a shot right into the glove of Andel. It was Lola Klein and Shea Benson 2-on-1 against Johnson. Benson took the shot right into the glove of Andel. 3:21 second period. Face-off near side is going to be won by the Spuds. Controlled by Dufault behind her own net. Dufault off the far wall. Turn back down. I can't even remember. Gunderson now with it back behind her own net. Gunderson is getting chased by Retzer. Gunderson brings it in top of the point. Gunderson shot, save, Andel. Dufault turns it over on the near side boards. Default sends it behind the net to Johnson, far side. Johnson can't get a handle on it. Strand is going to have to go after it. It's picked up once again by Fargo. Steen comes away with it. She's able to kick it out to center. Fargo has to reset. Gunderson now. Cross ice, Astrup. Astrup brings it up the board. Runs into one of her own skaters and Strand. Spuds are cleared out once again and force a reset. Corbel near side now. Dumps it into the corner. Dufault goes after it. Dufault tries to send it ahead. It's going to be picked up far side by the Threes. Sent back around behind the net on the near side board. Dufault sends it up to Retzer. Retzer sends it off the board. That one goes the length and will get called back on icing. Minute 55, second period. 4-2 Fargo lead. Face off. Stick side of Andel. This time it will be Astrup and Steen to match up. Steen wins the draw, sends it onto the back wall. Allmendinger goes after it. It'll be picked up Melendez. Spuds are able to kick it out to center. Sheely now inside of her own zone. Off the near side boards down into the Moorhead end. Allmendinger picks it up side of the cage. Puts the brakes on back behind the net. Over to Oakes. Oakes and Melendez fight for it near side. Centering pass, far side shot. Save Andel. Rebound loose. Picked up and thrown in Melendez. That'll put Fargo up 5-2 with 1:23 left in the second. Face off at center is Shirley and Astrup. Spuds kick it back out to center. Shirley now brings it in near side, steers around one, steers around Sheely, tries for the shot, but it ends up going back behind the net. Ness now. Hager behind her own net. Shirley goes down. Puck comes over to the near side boards. Sent out to center off the stick of Astrup. Allmendinger was there to pick it up. Carried in the more with zone Rerich. She steers around two. Loses the handle. We get turned back over to Rerich along the boards. Rerich shot, save, rebound loose. They look for the wraparound. It comes over to the near side. From the slot, shot goes just wide. Rerich picks it up, tries for the rebound shot, but Andel was there to block that one as well. Puck bounces back down behind the net. Rerich and Oakes fight for it. 20 seconds left in the period. From the slot, Hockett tries to send it out. It was intercepted by Melendez at the blue line. She sends it off the board and back behind the net. Rerich now. Rerich behind the net, centering pass, gets turned away by the Spuds. They'll end up over on the far side board. Down in, back behind the net once again, over on the near side wall as time expires. So that's how we're going to wrap up the second. They shoveled the ice between the first and second. So we're just going to take a really quick break and we'll be right back. You're watching Spuds Hockey on Krabby Toad Studios TV. I don't know. I just want to make sure that everybody's awake when I come back. I know. I always forget to reset the goal horn, and then it goes off at the beginning of the period. Welcome back to the Big Hole Tourney from Alexandria, Minnesota. This is the start of the third period. Spuds had a door open that nobody was paying attention to aside from the ref. Spuds control, Ness. Off the near side boards, down into the corner. Rowich turns it back the other direction, right to Shirley. Let's get Chippy right behind the net. Out in front! Shot, rebound! It's going to get finally kicked over onto the near side boards, but ref said they had it covered up. There was a whole lot of pushing and shoving behind the net and then out in front of the net. Fargo has been known for their shady antics. Back behind them, they're along the right in front of me now. Fargo's going to control, bounce it out to center. We'll be taking the other direction. Once again by the girl that I cannot say her name. Jonas. Back out through center now. Hockett steers around one. Breakaway shot. Goal. Rebound right out in front. Spuds couldn't get the second shot off. Yes, I yelled goal, but I think it went off the post. Back down in the Moorhead zone. Save made by Andel. Sheely's going to redirect it up and over the boards right into the Spuds bench. That one will bounce out of play, and we'll have a face-off back out at center. Face-off, far side, neutral ice. It's going to be controlled by Fargo. Sogard sends it down deep behind the Moorhead net. Oaks, Cutter. Sogard steps up near side. Back behind the net, sent over onto the far side wall, Astra. Sogard now, near side. Puck is going to be bounced out to center, forcing Fargo to reset. Hanukkah into the zone. Tries to get the shot off. She'll get a backhand that goes off the side of the cage. Fargo takes it the other direction. A-strip now. Takes it all the way around from the far side, near side. Tries to center it up. It got turned over onto the far side boards by the Spuds. Now down into the corner behind the net. Turn back the other direction. Hanukkah can't get a stick on it. Turn back in behind the net once again. Oaks up the far side wall. Cutter picks it up behind her own net. Pulled free by the Freeze. Side of the shot. Save. Rebound. Goal. 6-3 Fargo. .38 left in the game. Fargo now leads 6-3. Face off at center between Lee and Benson. 6-2, not 6-3. Klein sends it in behind the Moorhead net from the far side. Johnson will take it. Stolen away by Fargo. Brought over onto the far side wall. Dropped off for Gunderson. Gunderson and Dufault fight for it in the corner. Gets sent around onto the near side now. Centering pass. Nobody home. Goes over to Gunderson in the near side blue line. Far side blue line. Shot turned away. Johnson is able to get it out to the blue line, and she's going to send it the length of the ice. That one will get called back on icing. Faceoff comes back down into the Moorhead zone on the near side. It'll be Steen and Benson to square up this time. Near side blue line shot, redirected up into the air and over the net. Steen gets knocked down, and Fargo is going to be going to the box. Spuds will go to the power play. Benson, I'm guessing, with the check. Number 2, Shea Benson. 2 minutes for roughing. If I remember correctly, that's what the call was there. 13:42, Spuds to the power play. Faceoff comes down to the near side of the Fargo end. Chunus, I remembered, and Steen to square off. Sheely with the puck behind her own net. Steen steps in, knocks it loose. Strand comes in to help. Strand comes away with it. Strand up to Oakes, far side. Oakes has it knocked off her stick. Taken the other way now, Corbel. Corbel down into the Moorhead zone, dumps it in behind the net. Allmendinger picks it up. Strand now far side, or near side. Tries to push it out to center. Corbel was there to send it back in. Steen tries to send it ahead to Strand. Allmendinger picks it up. She brings it in, takes a shot. Rebound loose, nobody there. Will be Sheely now near side. Sheely ahead to Chunus. Chunus shot near side. Save Andel right to Lauren Ness. Ness far side now. Brings it out to center. Ness one-on-one going the other direction. Ness takes the shot. Goes just a touch wide after being redirected by Kurtz. It bounced off the bottom of the post. Fargo goes for the change as it's dumped into the Moorhead zone by Corbel. Far side now. Sent all the way down into the Moorhead or into the Fargo zone. No icing. Shirley goes for it back behind the net. Fargo comes away with it. Off the boards, Melendez. Up to Johnson at the blue line. She'll send it down deep to Ness. Ness back behind the net, and Hockett collides with Sogard. Puck gets pinched up along the far side wall. Hockett. Now Ness behind the net. Hockett tries to send it back up to Shirley. Shirley with a far side shot. Save. Kurtz. Save made by Kurtz. She didn't have it covered up. Ref thought she did. Face-off will go to the far side of the Fargo zone. 13 seconds left on the Moorhead power play. Caitlin Shirley and Sophia Rerick face off far side. Dufault dumps it down into the corner. Ness picks it up back behind the net. Has it stripped away. Hagar, who takes it out through center. Hagar across the center line, dumps it in the Moorhead zone. Picked up Johnson. Johnson over to Hockett. Hockett back to Ness near side. Picked up, thrown down into the Moorhead end. It'll slide all the way back in behind the net. Hockett now. Shirley. Shirley has it knocked free. Once again, Fargo brings it in. Tries for the shot, but got turned away. Puck held back behind the net by Fargo. Brought along onto the far side boards and turned back in once again behind the net. Spuds will pick it up back there. They try to clear. It's going to be held in right at the blue line by Rorich. This time it'll be bounced out on the near side boards. Cross ice down in the Moorhead zone. Johnson picks it up, far side. Far side half wall. Johnson and Fargo skater both rolling around. They come around onto the near side boards. Rorich sends it in the corner. Up to the blue line. Rerich tries for the shot. Redirected over on the near side wall. Puck will be sent all the way out to center. Handled by Olmstead right in front of her own bench. Cross ice over into the Moorhead zone. Picked up Hockett inside the slot. She's going to take it out on the far side. Hockett looks to take it ahead. Lindbergh had already run into the zone. Not quite sure what she was thinking there. Hockett was at the center line. Lindbergh was looking at her and entered the zone anyway. Face off far side, Hanukkah and Benson. It's going to be sent over onto the far side right in front of the Fargo bench. Into the Moorhead zone, or into the Fargo zone. Pushed right back out to center. Spuds will have to reset. We have a whistle. And I think once again they forgot to start the clock. Yep. They forgot to start the clock, so we're once again having another rundown. Face-off just outside the Fargo zone on the near side between Benson and Hanukkah once again. Hanukkah is going to win the draw. Puck will go all the way down into the Moorhead zone where it's taken by Allmendinger. Allmendinger over to Cutter, far side. Bounced right back into the Moorhead zone by Fargo. Cutter will take it back behind her own net. Off the wall. At the near side, blue line, Roerich dumps it back into the corner. Back up to Roerich. Centering pass, nobody there. Goes over to the far side, shot, goes just wide of the net. It'll end up down to the near side corner. Bounce around back behind the Moorhead net. Cutter. Cutter tries to send it out. He turned over to the near side, then sent right back across to the far side to Olmstead. Olmstead has it stripped away. Hanukkah is able to clear it out. Fargo has to reset. Allmendinger now. Allmendinger backhand. It'll be picked up Benson just inside of her own zone. Benson steers around Oakes. Takes the shot. Covered up Andel. We'll have 8 minutes, 50 seconds left in this game. Face-off, glove side of Andel. It's kicked over to the near side blue line, shot knocked down in traffic. Hendrickson tries to clear it, comes up to Sogard at the near side blue line, who put the shot on that got turned away by Andel. Puck sent all the way down into the Fargo end. Sogard right in front of Kurtz. Back down into the Moorhead zone, Johnson now. Puck comes free and back behind the Moorhead net. Set around into the far side corner. Retzer will gather it up. Retzer is able to clear it out to center. Sheely, Retzer. Down into the Moorhead zone, Fargo shot. Hendrickson's shot, rebound loose. Hendrickson's shot. And will finally get covered up by Kurtz. I think there was a tripping in there. Actually right on the shot if you want to look at it. So could have been called a tripping with a penalty shot for Moorhead. But I'm not the ref. I'm just the game caller. So I'll stand here and shut up and tell you that it was Steen and Astrup to face off. Back down in the far side corner. Swenson tries to center it up. It was turned away in traffic. Held into the blue line. Strand momentarily. Stolen away Astrup. Astrup down into the Moorhead zone. Takes it back behind the net. Centering pass right out front. Flurry of two shots. Puck gets cleared over to the near side by Johnson. Johnson back behind the net. Over to Steen. Steen takes it around to the far side. Bounce back down into the corner. Spuds look to clear. Swenson. Swenson, Strand, 2-on-2. Strand tries to steer around one. Swenson steps in to help. Strand and Sogard both go down. It's going to be taken the other direction by Rearick. Swenson is there to strip it away as it enters the Moorhead zone. It'll go all the way down behind the Moorhead net. Swenson sends it over to the far side wall. Up and out through center. That one will get called back on icing with 6:55, 54, 52 left in the game. I think the clock operators might need a little more coffee. They're forgetting to start the clock and forgetting to stop the clock on the whistle. Face-off, far side, Benson and Shirley. Benson's going to win the draw. It'll get smacked over onto the far side wall. And then back behind the net, Oakes. Shirley steps in to help. Stripped away back behind the net, centering pass, top of the slot, shot, rebound loose. Comes back up to the point, over to Sogard near side. Sogard shot, turned away Andel. Comes over to the near side boards now, Olmstead. She tries to set it down low. It's going to get flipped up into the air. Hockett sent to the link. That one will once again get called back on icing with 6:22 to go in the game. 36 to 13 in favor of Fargo on shots. So really just goes to show you who the better goalie is. Face off far side. We get pushed back behind the net into the near side corner. Turn right back around behind the net. Dufault and Hockett. And two Fargo skaters all fight for it. It's finally going to be turned out. Out through center now. Picked up right at the red line and bounced into the Fargo zone. Chased into the near side corner. Klein and Ness. Lauren Ness. It'll be sent up the far side wall. Held in far side Dufault. Bounced out to center. Spuds will end up offside. Face off far side right in front of the Fargo bench. Hanukkah. Fargo's going to control. Rowrich sends it all the way down, or sends it into the Moorhead end. Picked up by the Spuds. Hanukkah looks to clear. Hanukkah has it stripped off her stick right at the blue line. Fargo is able to hold. Steen picks it up at the point and is able to kick it out to center, forcing Fargo to reset. Near side wall now. Fargo controls down into the corner. Drawn back behind the net and into the far side corner. Dufault picked free. Cutter. Fargo holds right at the point. Corbel. Shot from the side goes right onto the pads of Andel. She'll cover it up with 4:52 left in this game. Face off. Far side of the Moorhead zone is going to be controlled by Fargo. Shot blocked out in traffic. Dufault and Killand and Rowrich and Lee all fight for it back behind the net before it gets turned out and up to the point. Steered over to the far side wall. Rowrich back in behind the Moorhead net. Lee tries to get a handle on it. She's able to do so. Bounces it up to Retzer, who tries to clear. It'll be held in at the blue line. Gunderson. Back in once again behind the net. Centering pass. Turned over to the far side. Retzer, who kicks it out to center, forcing Fargo to reset. Rowrich will have it out at neutral. Bounced off the near side wall. Down in top of the point. Shot. Rowrich covered up by Andel. Face off, far side of the Moorhead zone. Gets bounced back behind the net. Steen gives chase into the near side corner. She gets pinned up against the wall. Puck comes loose. It'll be handled Melendez. Right behind the net now. Back into the corner. Melendez. And I couldn't see who it was for Moorhead. Steen now off the far side wall. Swenson is there. Swenson picks it up. Swenson over to Strand. Strand can't get a handle on it. Sheely turns it back the other direction. Back down into the near side corner. Picked up behind the net, Moorhead. Steen has it in the near side corners. Tries to send it off the wall. She's able to clear it out to center. Swenson chases Emma Ness down on the near side. Puck bounced down into the Fargo zone. Sheely has it. Takes it back out to center. Ahead to Ness. Ness brings it in right on the doorstep. Save Andel. Puck loose. Side angle shot. Another save Andel. Carried around the near side Ness. Drop back to Sheely at the blue line. Sheely down to Ness. Ness steers around Oakes. Shot. Bounced over the net into the netting behind the cage. Out of play. Face off to the glove side of Andel with 2:35 to go in the game. This time it's going to be sent into the corner where it'll be picked up by Johnson. Johnson has it stripped away. Clock once again is not running. Bounced off the side, save Andel. Moorhead tries to clear, held in near side Sheely. Sent over to the far side, shot. All right, we're about 25 to 30 seconds in. No clock yet. Refs finally catch wind as they start the clock. Oh, wow. Between not running, not knowing how to start the clock, and not knowing how to count shots, I swear these guys are sleeping in the box. Face far side. Oy, oy, oy. Puck bounced all the way down into the Fargo end. It's going to go just a touch wide of Kurtz. They did stop the clock at 2:19, but I'm thinking we're actually supposed to be down to about a minute and 29 seconds, give or take. Face off far side. This time will be Shirley and Gunderson. No, actually it was once again the one I cannot pronounce. I remember what it was and now I forget. Now it's held up back behind the puck, or behind the net. Into the near side corner. Clock is actually running this time. Spuds come away with it. Turned right back down in behind the net. Shot goes through the crease and onto the far side boards. Will be smacked by Shirley, held in far side, right at the blue line. Shot, goal. That'll put Fargo up 7-2 and running clock for the remaining minute and 3/4. (7-2) Fargo advantage, 1:47 left in this game. Running clock once it starts. Maybe if they actually remember to start it. Oh, look at that, they did. Minute 45, 42. Puck dumped all the way down into the Moorhead zone off the stick of Rowridge. Handled by Fargo back behind the Moorhead net. Off the near side boards and up to Rowridge at the near side blue line. She'll send it back down in. Backhand shot goes behind the Moorhead net. Onto the near side boards, bounced out to center. That one's going to go the length of the ice. And they're going to stop the clock with 1:18 to go. Icing is the call. Face-off will come back down into the Moorhead zone on the near side. Astrup and Hannick at a square up. Shot blocked in traffic. Turned out back up to the point. Carried down into the far side corner. Rowrich. She'll take it around back behind the net. Looks to center it up. Puck gets knocked loose by Oakes. Held up now back behind the net. Side angle shot on Andel. Spuds are able to clear it out. Behind the Fargo net would be Rerick. She carries it out to center. Now Klein, far side, sends it in behind the Moorhead net. Johnson is there to pick it up. 31 seconds. Johnson, far side, tries to send it ahead to Retzer, was intercepted by Fargo. But the Spuds are able to push it down into the free zone. Turned out to center Rowridge. Our near side now. Shot, save, Andel with 14.3 seconds to go in the game. Face off once again, near side, Benson and Lee get sent back behind the net. Off the far side wall. 6 seconds, 5. Fargo tried to carry it in. Spuds were there to clear it out. Retzer is able to flip it up into the air and out to neutral ice as time expires. So that's how this one is going to end. 7-2 Fargo victory. 43-13 in favor of Fargo on the shots, which I betting we had more shots, but either way it just makes Addie look really good as a goalie. So that's how we're going to wrap it up from the big old tournament in Alexandria, Minnesota. We'll be back in action next weekend. I don't remember what time or where. So if you haven't hit that subscribe and notify button, make sure you do so that you know when we go live for 15 UA, JV, and varsity now. And for my camera operator, Lisa Swenson, I'm Seth. We'll see you again real soon.